Hi, and welcome to Pinellas County Public Schools. My name is Harry Brown. I'm the Deputy Superintendent for Curriculum and Operations. And one of my jobs is to make sure that you get set off on the right foot in our very important role that you're going to have working with our school districts in our exceptional student education department, particularly riding our school buses. Your role in ensuring our students' safety is paramount, but you need not worry that you're the only person on the bus with that responsibility. The primary responsibility is with the bus driver. But you are going to be working with our exceptional education students in a key role that is very important to us, to the students, and to their families. We want to go ahead and give you just a brief overview of this video with regarding to your job responsibilities. You're also going to be receiving a 6-hour training session that will give you much more detailed instructions. But we want you to know from the bottoms of our heart that you're taking on a very important mission for all of our students. And nothing could be more important than our student safety on those school buses. So once again, thank you and welcome aboard.
Hello, I'm Roger Watson, and I'm with the Pinellas County Schools. Today, we're going to talk to you particularly about support professionals and school bus and the safety involved with that. Why do the support professionals ride the school buses? That support professional is you. Well, each student that receives a special education services within our county has an individual education plan. It is an IEP. The IEP team makes the decision whether or not a student will require assistance to safely ride a bus. And that's the special transportation. When the IEP team decides that special transportation is required by the student, the school assigns a support professional, you, to ride the bus and assist with the student's needs. Who assigns you to that bus route? Each school will be a little different in the way they do their particular assignments. It's based on the needs for the special transportation of the students at that particular school, where a school administrator, being the principal or the assistant principal, will assign you to a route. It's suggested that you introduce yourself to the bus driver before riding your route. Where do you meet the bus? Well, pick-up and drop-off locations will be set up between you and the driver. Support professionals are to be on the bus prior to the students who require that assistance when they board the bus. And again, you get on the bus before that student boards the bus. It's preferred that you park on school board property. If this doesn't fit into the route, then park your car in a safe location. What are the responsibilities of the support professional on the bus? Under the direction of the school bus driver, you, the support professional, provide assistance with the safe loading and unloading of students with disabilities, and you provide supervision for the students with disabilities while en route to and from the school. Duties include, but are not limited to, the following. You'll secure or assist in securing students and equipment such as wheelchairs, car seats, safety vests, and or lap belts. You'll help move, position, and unload the students. Secure wheelchairs and associated equipment on the bus. Monitor bus safety rules and assist the bus driver in maintaining discipline for all of the students. And provide input to the driver regarding student seat assignments based on the student's individual needs. Your duties include, but aren't limited to, continuing on, providing communication, a link for students who are nonverbal. You assist the driver with emergency evacuations and emergency stops, and if necessary, handle minor first aid and the cleanup of bodily fluids. If necessary, you'll act as a route guide for a relief or a substitute driver. Parts of the wheelchairs. What you will be primarily concerned with are the headrest, the lap belt location on that seat for that particular student, the wheel locks which you will operate, and the footrests. The bus lift. This is the apparatus on the exterior of the bus that lifts hydraulically that wheelchair with the student in the chair up to the floor level of the bus. The bus driver will be responsible for that operation. You will receive the student as they get to the top of that lift and roll them into the bus. Loading students in wheelchairs. The bus driver operates the lift. The support professional, again you, will receive and secure that student from inside the bus. The bus driver sets the parking brake first of all. Then he or she activates the stop arms, then secures the lift door in an open position. The bus driver then activates the lift, and then the bus driver checks to be sure that the student's seat, the belt on that seat, is snugly fastened. Next, the driver backs the wheelchair onto the lift with the student facing out. The wheelchair must be backed far enough onto the lift so that the footrest clears the raised safety guard. The driver then secures the wheelchair to the lift, or on the lift as it's sitting there. The manual wheelchair has lock brakes. A power wheelchair, it's very important to first of all turn the power switch to off, lock the brakes, and depending on the model, to re-engage the motors to set internal locking system, depending again on the model. The driver secures the safety strap, if the lift has one. The bus driver must keep his or her hand on that wheelchair at all times as the lift is in operation. The bus driver activates the switch, the lift switch, to raise the lift, and when the lift is at the bus floor level, you back the chair into the bus and place it in its correct position. So the support professional again secures the wheelchair. Securing wheelchairs. You first of all center the wheelchair between the tracks. Set the wheel locks on both sides of the chair. Hook the back straps in the inner tracks, then secure the hook or the strap onto the lowest point of the wheelchair on the frame, on a secure part of that frame. The angle of the strap between the frame and the floor should be between 30 to 60 degrees. Hook the front straps in the outer tracks to provide lateral stability. Then secure the hook or strap onto the lowest forward point of the wheelchair, again on a structurally firm location on that frame. After securing the straps, release the wheelchair locks and pull the straps tight. Then reset the wheelchair locks. In securing the wheelchairs, there's a 4-point tie-down system. This illustrates the two locations, both front and back, and the belt relative position to the chair, and the specific location to hook the belt to the chair. Securing the lap, shoulder, belt system. The lap belt should be low and snug across the pelvis. This is very similar to a lap belt in the car or on the bus, going across the pelvis, not down across the thighs and not up high across the stomach. Tighten the lap belt at the bottom and then tighten the shoulder strap. The shoulder strap should be over the shoulder and across the upper chest, not across the neck. and check the student for comfort. Observe or ask the student if he or she is okay. In protecting the student, it is most important in that chair on the bus that you secure that lap shoulder system, that belt. Did you know that the student is not ready for transport until that wheelchair is secured? The student must be secured with that lap shoulder belt system. The system keeps the student safe during transit. What is a CSRS? A Child Safety Restraint System, a CSRS, means any device except a Type 1 or Type 2 seat belts. It's designed for the use in a motor vehicle or aircraft to restrain, seat, or position children who weigh 65 pounds or less. Who uses these CSRSs? Infants of students enrolled in a teen parent program, students in pre-K programs, and students with disabilities. The different types of these CSRSs are safety vests, hard shell car seats, both rear-facing and forward-facing, and the convertible rear and forward-facing, and integrated seats. Types of safety vests: a Bessie vest, a Q vest. The student transportation add-on restraint system we call a STAR. It's for students who are 25 to 65 pounds and up to 47 inches tall. There's a STAR Plus, and that's for an increased weight of up to 90 pounds and again 47 inches tall.
We're going to start with our Easy On vest or harness, is what they call it. And this is what it looks like. And it zips in the back. You unzip it from the back. And this particular one has 3 different sizes on it. You can use it for a small, medium, or a larger child. And I have my little green guy here who I'm going to demonstrate how to put it on. And if you want to help me, Roger, that would be wonderful. So he would normally be standing to do this, but you're going to slip the arms in one side and then slip the other arm in the other side and bring him around, and then you're going to take and zip him up in the back here. And like I said, there's 3 different sizes, and he looks like can be a medium, so I'm going to take the center part and zip it up. This particular vest is a newer one, so he has straps that go between the legs. Okay, in the back here, let me see if I can get you to see it better. They unlatch like this, and then they go between the legs. And this is so they won't slide out of the vest. Let's see here. Oh, thank you so much. One-handed is difficult at times, and it tightens up. Now you do have adjustments on the top here to tighten it up to where it's across their shoulders and it doesn't slide down. And then when you hook them in, you're going to, in the cam wrap that goes around the seat, you're going to hook the top ones up here, and then the bottom ones rings right here, so the child sits in a seat like this, and they're all hooked up. Get him him so he sits. And this is the cam wrap of what I was talking about. This wraps around the back of your bus seat, and I will demonstrate on the seat when I get that far. And the Easy-On harness attaches to that. Next I'm going to show you is what a star seat looks like. And this is the star seat. It looks like an integrated car seat. It hooks up just like a car seat does on a child. With this part going across their armpit area and this being attached down at the bottom. And this particular seat wraps around your bus seat in a way to where it makes it easier with any type of seat that we have or any type of bus, any year bus, that we can use this with on any bus for your child. And this has different adjustments. When I attach it to the seat, I'm going to put my little green guy in and I'll show you how it all works. Okay. And the next thing is our car seat. Now our car seat, this is a forward-facing car seat that we're going to use for our pre-K children. And in putting them in the seat, you have to make sure that you have, this one is a reversible seat to where you can use it forward-facing or not, but you want to make sure that it's forward-facing for our pre-K children. This needs to be up for our forward-facing. And this sits in what's called the bite of the seat. The bite of the seat would be this part here, where the top and the bottom meet. That's the bite of the seat. And then you need to find your belt path, where your seat belt goes through, which this would be the belt path for a forward-facing car seat. This belt path down here would be for a rear-facing car seat. So you want to make sure that you get it in the right belt path and attach it. And I will show you exactly how that works when we get to that part of it. But then you're going to make sure your child is in here correctly. This is set up just like our star seat. You have your attachments here. Okay. And I have a little green guy, another one that I can sit in here. And you're going to make sure the child is sitting in here, and that this particular child, that the straps are above the shoulders, that this is attached in the armpit area, which is right here, and that's so they don't get their arms, they're little Houdinis. They just get their arms all over and get out of these car seats very easily. And then you attach it between their legs there. Now this little green guy, it's not snug. You want to make sure that the belt is snug on the child. So to do that, this part down here, belt down here, you're going to pull, and it will make it very snug. So now I'm going to show you how to attach all these safety devices to your bus seat with Roger's help over here. So first thing I'm going to show you is the cam wrap and how we attach this to our seat. You want to make sure that you unbuckle the seat, and Roger is doing that for me, and I think it's unbuckled. And then you pull the seat forward. And then you want to make sure that you can see over here. You're going to take your cam wrap and put it down through the seat here. Yes. No, backwards. This way. Yep. Okay. And then you're going to pull the seat down, but you want to make sure that your hookups on the bottom aren't stuck down there. So, and then you're going to come from underneath, and you're going to attach it. It's just like a regular seat belt. And then you're going to tighten it down. And you want to make sure that it's snug, tight enough so when the child sits in it, you're not going to pull forward or give at all. So you want to make sure it's very tight. And you pull down on the strap, and that helps snug it, make it tight. Okay, so, and this is what it looks like in your bus seat here. And now my little green guy over here in the actual vest, I'll show you how he hooks in here. He's going to sit up in here like this. And then you have your hookups here on this side and here. And then on the side. And oh, he's sitting on it on this side also. And that's how he looks in your safety vest and the cam wrap. That's what it should look like when it's on your bus. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to unhook him. Unhook him from the top. And each side. And here you go, Roger. Thank you. And next, I'm going to show you is our star seat. The star seat hooks very similar as the cam wrap. We're going to need to unhook it back here first. It's color coded, so you want to make sure that you hook your straps color coded. Okay. And Roger's going to pull the seat up for me again. Now you want to make sure that your black strap goes forward around the seat. The black strap goes towards you. Okay, and then you're going to sit your seat, and your gray and your brown strap goes down into the seat like the cam wrap did. Okay, that's fine. And then your back goes around. So we're going to pull this around so we can see better. And like I said, you're going to be color coded. So you have your gray. You're going to attach your gray. You have your brown. I lost my brown. There we go. I found him. And you're going to attach your brown. And then you have your black, which is around the seat. Okay. And then you're going to tighten these up. And you want to tighten your gray and your brown first. And then your black. And then we'll turn it around. And there you can see that it's in there. Why don't you give me the little green guy and I'll show exactly how you hook him up in here. So we'll loosen this and buckle. Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's just like a car seat, except it doesn't have the shell. This goes between their armpits, and this adjusts to the height of the child. So being that my little green guy is short, so I'm going to push this down so it goes over their shoulders a little better. Okay. And this attaches between their legs, and then you tighten and loosen. You push it in to tighten. There we go. And that's how our star seat looks in your bus seat. And you want to make sure this is snug and that this guy doesn't sit in here correctly, but you don't want to be able to pinch at all any of the webbing around him, just like in a car seat. Okay, let's turn around and we'll show him how to unbuckle this since we need the room. So you're going to push this down to loosen your straps. And you undo them. Let's take our little guy out of here too, since we don't want to damage him when we pull the seat out. Okay. And then pull the seat up, and it comes apart, just like that, very easily. Same way with the cam wrap that we did before. You just unbuckle the back and pull the seat forward. Now, with the car seat, I want to make sure that that part is up when we put the seat down. Okay. We want to make sure that the seat's snug with the latch underneath. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is the car seat. So like I was showing you before, this part needs to go in the bite of your seat, which this is the bite of the seat where the top and the bottom meet. And here's the belt path. So let's turn this around so we can get a better view. So that's how it's going to be. Let me do it this way here. And this would be your seat belt going through the bite. Now some of the seats you can take the webbing or the front off so you can get your belt through the belt path. You probably want to look at this a little better. Just like that, and pulling it through. Probably move it around so we can get a better look at how it attaches. Okay. So, and this is what's called a latch plate, and you're going to attach it, and you want to make sure it's in there. And you see how loose this is? That's not how you want them. You want to make sure that it doesn't move more than 1 inch from side to side. And how to do that, you as a driver need to put your weight in it, and you need to pull your belt straight up or away from the attachment to get it tight. And sometimes I have a problem because I don't weigh enough to do this. Usually, well, there we go. When I put my car seats in for my grandchild, I have to sit in them to get snug. Okay, so that's what that looks like in the seat, in your bus seat. So it doesn't move more than 1 inch, and it's not going to move forward at all. And now we'll show you with our little green guy how we stick them in. Okay, so this is just like the star seat. You're going to make sure that this is between their armpit area, and so the little guys can't squeeze their arms out, which they're very tricky. This goes between their legs. Okay. This belt down here loosens and tightens, so if I pull down on this, it will tighten it up around the child. And you want the strap to go above their shoulders. You want the belt to be snug on the child to where you can't pinch any of the belt at all. Okay. Now if this is too tight for the child, all you have to do is pull this latch up, and you take a hold of the straps here and pull forward, and that loosens it up. And then just pull down, and that tightens it.
In rear-facing seats, those are from birth to 20 to 22 pounds and 1 year. This is an example of those different seats that I'm sure that you've seen before. We use them on our buses. Convertible seats. For rear-facing, from 30 to 35 pounds, reclined, and if that baby, that child, is less than 1 year of age. Forward-facing is to 40 pounds, upright, and over 1 year of age. And again, an example of the several different models currently in use. In forward-facing seats, they will handle up to 40 pounds with only a lap belt. That lap belt, again, is the existing lap belt on the seat that goes through the back of that shell for the car seat and is then latched. That is a securement for that particular seat. Securing the child in a rear-facing seat. The child's back and bottom have to be flat into the CSRS. The harness has to be at or below the shoulders. you can take blankets and put them to the sides for positioning. The harness has to be snug and flat on the child's shoulders. The retainer clip has to be in this position at armpit level. Securing the child in a forward-facing seat. Again, the child's back and bottom have to be flat in the seat. The correct harness slots have to be positioned at or above the shoulders in the reinforced slots. Again, that strap goes through the seat, or it comes from the back of the seat, and it goes over the child's shoulders. The harness has to be snug and flat on the child's shoulders. And again, that retaining clip has to be at armpit level. Notice that the midpoint of the head cannot be above the top of that seat, of that CSRS. Belt paths. This is a term that we use to know where to put the lap belt or a particular belt on the seat. The belt paths vary by car seat, depending again on the model. Pinellas County uses several different car seats, and it's important to find that belt path and know how and where. Make sure that the seat is secured with the lap belt in the correct belt path. For any of these restraint systems, those safety straps cannot ever be twisted, and they should not be frayed nor cut. Other student equipment that you will come across. For a student that is in a wheelchair, they could have a lap tray as they enter the bus, and it is that clear plastic in most cases. It has to be removed and secured on the bus. If the student has to travel with a lap tray on his or her wheelchair, the best practice is to fasten a foam transportation tray to the wheelchair instead. Again, the typical lap tray comes off. The foam transportation tray should then go on. In the event that your student has oxygen with his chair, oxygen is not an explosive, but it will increase the speed of a fire in the event of a fire. The oxygen container must be secured alongside the student, and in the case of an accident, a damaged container can become a torpedo-like projectile. Assistive devices. Those, again, that you will come across most commonly for many of our students are things such as crutches, canes, walkers, strollers, the oxygen bottle we just looked at, many types of breathing equipment and respirators. All of these assistive devices must be firmly secured with a bungee cord either to the side of the wall of the bus or to the back of the last bus seat. Loading and unloading students. Well, typically students should enter or exit the bus by the front entrance door. If the school has a ramp, students may enter or exit the bus through the rear emergency exit by way of that ramp. Students using wheelchairs may enter or exit the bus by way of the ramp or the wheelchair lift. Only students using wheelchairs may enter or exit the bus using that wheelchair lift. Should a student need assistance climbing the stairs to board the bus, the support professional must stand close behind the student to prevent the student from falling back. Encourage the student to use the handrails. When helping a student to exit the bus, the support professional must go before the student and then turn to assist the student along the walk and down the steps. In the event that you have an emergency stop on the bus, you should rehearse with your bus driver these particular procedures so that you know the location and how to operate them. First of all, you pull the air brake knob. The next thing you do is turn on the four-ways. These are the yellow flashing lights. Then call dispatch on the two-way radio. And the way you do that is you pick up the microphone. You hold it approximately 4 to 6 inches from your mouth. Push the button on the side of the mic. Wait a second or two before you speak. If you hear others talking on the radio, you may say, "Silence, silence. This is an emergency. Route 285 to dispatcher." You let go of the button when you have finished speaking to hear the dispatch come back to you. In an emergency stop again, you then tell that dispatcher the nature of your emergency. And it's important to remain calm and be concise in your information. Number one, give them the route number. Number two, give them your location, that street location, including a cross street, so they will know exactly where you're located. And if you know, tell them whether you're eastbound, westbound, northbound, or southbound. Identify yourself and your position. For instance, you are so-and-so and you are the assistant on the bus. Then briefly state the nature of your emergency. Emergency planning. Specific vehicle evacuation plan occurs by route. An emergency evacuation plan should address the needs and abilities of each student on that particular route. A collaborative effort is between you and the driver, again the assistant, and supervisors, then approved. Determine who are the participants and their responsibilities during those emergencies. It addresses the specific student needs and abilities, and that plan should be documented and kept on the bus as well as on file in the transportation office. Under that emergency planning, the emergency equipment on board the bus includes, for instance, the vehicle features and the operation that you need to know. All emergency exits, you need to know front, back, side, and top. Those are roof hatches, and how to safely exit them, to operate them and exit them. Emergency equipment and their operations are things such as the fire extinguishers, a seatbelt cutter, emergency roadside equipment, and the flares and the triangles. What happens if you need to be absent? Well, you have a responsibility to those students and to that driver. So if that occurs, you need to notify your school administrator and the transportation department as soon as possible. So a substitute can be arranged. Central dispatch's number that you can call is, of course, our area code is 727, then 547-7247. Here's what you do. Give your name when that person answers and the route number, and ask to speak to the correct dispatcher.
Well, we have a pre-K program, and these children are, most of them are 4 years old or younger, and state law requires that any child that weighs under 40 pounds has to be transported in a car seat, and the majority of these children do weigh less than 40 pounds. and that's a state law requirement. Plus, these children are special needs children, and they have an individual educational plan that the school puts together that also requires a car seat. In a special needs child, there are conditions that require extra restraint for them. So that's part of it. No, all buses cannot use car seats. Buses that are year 1996 or newer can use a car seat because we can install a seat belt on these buses. Our buses that are 2000 year or newer have factory installed seat belts, and so we have to install seat belts on the other buses, and the state requires that you have to have a special seat to attach the seat belts to. But we have what's called a star seat, which can be put on any of our school buses because it doesn't require a seat belt. It wraps around our bus seats. A car seat, yes, a child can sit behind that because it doesn't take away from the safety zone that's set up with our seats, with our crash pads. Now, with a star seat or a harness is attached to what's called a cam wrap, and that wraps around the back of the seat, and the star seat wraps around the back of the seat also. So that takes away from our safety compartment for the child that sits behind them. So no, the children, there are only certain seats that these star seats and cam wraps or easy on vests can sit, and we'd like to make sure that the kids behind them are safe. The car seat does follow the child because of different issues with if the child is only going a half a day, or that sometimes different buses pick up the children. One route will take the child into school in the morning, and then one route will take the child home in the afternoon, or if a bus breaks down, or if the bus has to have a spare bus or things like that. So yes, the car seats do follow the child. Okay, the safety harness or easy on vest with the cam wrap, it is supplied from the compound, from the bus service recorder, which is at the compound, who supplies the buses and makes sure that equipment is on there. And how they find that information is from our routing department, which has that information on the routes that the drivers have. So that's where they get the cam wrap and the easy on vest. Now the car seats are given to the schools. They have recently, in the last 2 years, that they have switched the way the car seats are being delivered. And the schools are given, our office here is given the information of how many car seats each school is required to have, and then we deliver those seats to the schools, and then on the dry run day of our drivers, and they pick up the car seats at that time. The driver would get the car seat because the driver would have the information on their route, and they would let our bus service recorder, who takes care of all the equipment for the bus and make sure that they have the correct bus with the correct seat and the seat belt, that they would get the car seat and have it on the bus prior to the transportation of that child. Errors, well, dealing with car seats is most common is not knowing how to hook up a car seat and not getting the seat secure, not securing the child in the car seat correctly, especially if in a colder weather, if the child has a jacket on or something to where they need to be in that seat snugly. With wheelchairs, not hooking up the chair correctly to where it's not going to tip over, or the lap shoulder belt not hooked at all or hooked incorrectly. And the wheelchairs with a tray, trays are supposed to be taken off the child in transporting them on the bus, And that's just a few. There are many, many things. It's hard to cover every one right now. The most common that I see most of the time is that the equipment that we use to hook up our wheelchairs are not taken off the floor so that one, that they won't get broken, the cost, and then two is the workman's comp thing that the assistants or the driver or any students that are on the bus don't trip over.
Oh good, you're still there. After 40 minutes of watching this video, I'm glad to know that you're still with us and welcome and excited about being part of our new team. Again, thank you very much for joining us and paying attention and being a part of our very special Pinellas County Schools family. Our students, our parents, our teachers, and administrators appreciate you, and so do we. Again, my name is Harry Brown. I'm the Deputy Superintendent for Curriculum and Operations, and indeed, it is a special pleasure to welcome you aboard.